Fans, get on your feet and make some noise. It's time to meet the starting lineup for your Wisconsin Badgers. At guard, that 5'4" senior from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, number 3, Suzanne Gilby.
Athletes, we're so defined by our sport, right? We're so consumed by just the jersey that we wear. You're always pushing and striving for better. And we're always trying to be better than the person next to you, or please others. I mean, you can't please everyone around you. You gotta figure out what makes you happy, what's that centerpiece that's gonna mold you, you know?
Right.
I would say I'm a very charismatic, very loving, eager, spiritual individual. I would say all around, in my life. I try to make sure that I'm happy at all times. Obviously, you have highs and lows, but I'm a very self-driven person too, and I like to make sure I stay in the Word of God. I'm very big on that, and just making sure that I'm level-headed. So that's really who Suzanne is. I like to work hard. Hard working is my biggest thing, but also working smart, making sure I don't overdo myself in terms of just schoolwork, but also basketball and just life, and just making sure I learn more about myself each and every day. God is my top priority, and I've been really trying to build and form that, building that, and then obviously family, and then myself, I would say too, myself and then family. I FaceTime my twin 24/7 after practice, before, whenever we get a chance to talk, because obviously my life is such a busy schedule, right? Uh-huh. So when I can make time for my family, I always do. And candy too. Here's the candy right here. And then school and basketball. I would say basketball is I've always played ball, and I think I love it. I love it a lot. It's just figuring out what else do I love to do too, what else am I more passionate about. I keep my bullet journal, right? And it says my beautiful name on here too. But this bullet journal helps me out. It helps me stay grounded and focused. I journal about my goals. I write down what I do every day. This is probably my favorite one here. Let me show you. This is from, I think, the beginning of September, where I listened to this podcast, right? Oh, where is it? It might take me a little while. But this is dope too. This is your world, Suzanne. This is your world. Continue to remain true to yourself. You know your goals and what you want to do in life. Be the leader or be lead. I'm actually started a podcast, Beneath It All, which I think has been really inspiring to me to get to know other student athletes, to get to know their stories, because I'm still growing. I'm 22 years old, but I'm growing as the Suzanne that I want to become eventually, because I have such a long life to live. So just making sure that I do the right things and form the right habits now that will eventually last me forever to be the great Suzanne, So that's who I am. I'm just a butterfly, a beautiful, bright butterfly. No one can knock the confidence of who I am. I've been bullied my whole life, and starting from elementary on up, I'm still to this day bullied. I mean, every place that I go into. I feel the pressure of being a Black woman in America, knowing that when I go into a job interview, I'm not gonna get a call back. I know how confident I am in myself, but I would say I'm blessed to have the name Suzanne, because Suzanne is a white name. If my name was Daquisha, I probably wouldn't be as great as I am now in my life. But there's a lot of pressure. It's hard to walk in a lecture hall when you're the only one. You're wow, it's just damn, that's crazy. But I think it speaks value on speaks value that we, as people of color, especially when it comes to topics like racism, injustice, whatever the topic may be on race, we have to be able to sit in that classroom and try to teach other students who are not minorities, who are white, and they come up to us. They look to us to answer the questions rather than educating themselves. So I see it in a lot of factors. A lot of stereotypes of blacks that were angry, were, especially black women, were loud, were disruptive, all that just. It's funny that when I'm on campus, I feel like a lot of white students, when I approach them or talk to them, they're like shocked that I'm very knowledgeable and that I'm very polite, because it's not common. It's viewed as we're someone mean, we're negative, but really we're beautiful people who have stories to tell, and we're trying to fight for our rights, and we're trying to fight for something bigger than ourselves. They don't understand that, because a lot of these students here at Wisconsin are coming from white rural areas. They've never been around black people. So, but I say even on the court, they think of us blacks as, and you see it around, especially football. You see all the black athletes are only looked at for their capabilities on the field. They're not looked at as someone that's intelligent, is smart, that wants an education. If we're not producing on the court, it's a problem. I think the term we should use, that we're viewed as slaves. When you're not producing on the court of the field, you're seen as someone that does not exist in athletic size, or just NCAA in general. If you don't speak upon it, you're just the same as those other people. So it's like you gotta speak about it. But it starts with conversations. It starts with not just myself, but more than one person talking about this issue. And I think once it's talked about and it's actually it's aware of, or people are conscious of it, then I think that's when change starts to begin. But it starts with people standing for something and standing strong for it and saying this is what needs to be changed and this is what needs to be happen. Because if you don't stand for something, it's going to continue to happen.